All right, guys, in this video, we're gonna go over how to determine if your cylinder heads need a valve job, okay? So we're working on the Chevelle LS turbo build. You've seen all the videos on the leakage through the valves, so I determined that with a leak down test. You can see the video here. You can build your own leak down tester and determine the health of your engine by building one of those tools. So what we're gonna do today is measure the valve to guide clearance and also the seat width. And if those things are out of spec, you simply need a valve job, okay? And that's something that a machine shop has to do. That's something I can't do here. Okay, so the first step in determining if you need a valve job is to measure the clearance between the valves and the valve guides, okay? If there's a sloppy clearance, too much clearance between the two parts, then obviously you're probably gonna need new valves and guides, or at least new guides, whatever. It'll be up to your machine shop at that point. You'll have to take it to them. The reason I'm saying that is if let's say you have a sloppy fit between these two and you move forward with like lapping the valves or even getting the seats cut, what's going to happen is as these things pound together in normal operation, there's going to be some wobble in here, right? And if there's wobble, then you are basically mushrooming the surfaces and hammering them to death and causing premature wear, okay? So what we're gonna do is measure the diameter here with a micrometer, and then we will measure the ID of the valve guides with this snap gauge. Okay, so see how this thing works is there's little springs in here and you tighten it once it's in there, and then we can mic this and get a measurement. Subtract the two dimensions and see what we get. Now I don't have a service manual for this. This is off a GM 5.3 for the Chevelle LS Turbo project. Quick search online shows that we should have 1 thou up to 2.5 thou, roughly 0.0026 thousandths of an inch clearance, brand new, with a service limit of 0.0037 thousandths. Okay, so let me go ahead and mic these really quick, and I'll do it down here. Okay, so I'm getting 316 thousandths. Now I do want to note that this thing is not calibrated, but the point is we're using the same device to measure the valve and the clearance, so it'll be off by the same amount, if you know what I mean. Okay, I need to take this in and get it calibrated or figure out how to do it. Anyway, so here's a snap gauge. What you want to do is push them in and then lock it. See, there's a little lock here, so it's all the way in. You want to put this in and put it on an angle. Okay. Also, I should note that the rocker arm goes this way, so it's putting a side load on the valve, right? So the most amount of wear will be in this direction, so it's going to be larger in this direction versus this direction, okay? So we're just going to measure this one here, okay? So you put your snap gauge in, put it on an angle. Don't put it collinear with the axis of the guide. So we're going to put it on an angle. We're going to lock it, and then what you do is you straighten it out. It's going to push those plungers in, and then you just yank it out. Okay, so that takes a little bit of effort or a little bit of a feel to get that correct. Okay, now we'll measure this guy. Okay, so I measured the valve. We're at 316 and the guide is 319. Okay, so that's 3 thousandths. Okay, that's on the exhaust. Okay, let's measure the intake here. Okay, 317.5. Okay, so my quick estimates here on the exhaust, I got 3 thousandths clearance, and on the intake, 0.0025. Okay, so we're approaching the service limit on the exhaust. Okay, another method is if you take a dial indicator, open the valve roughly about that much, you put the dial indicator on here and you rock this guy back and forth, and then you divide the number by 2, and that's the rough clearance. Okay, so I have a magnetic dial indicator. You can see I have it attached to a metal piece for some weight. And then I got the head on some 2x4s. And I'm going to come over here and rock this guy. Let me flip the camera on so you can see the dial indicator. Alright, so this is a little tricky, but let me go ahead and get this guy set up here. Okay, now I'm going to rock this valve back and forth. This is a little tricky to do. Okay, so if I go back and forth here, it looks like I have about 8 thousandths. Okay, if I divide that number by 2, it's 4 thousandths clearance. Okay, now I had the valve open further than I needed, so that there's probably a little bit of error there. And the reason you divide it by 2 is if you think about a triangle, the distance at the valve guide versus the valve is about double. So you double it from a triangle leg. Okay, so far it looks like I am on the hairy edge of the service limit of these valve to valve guide clearance. Okay. All right, guys, so next up is the width of this contact patch on these two parts. Okay. Now, sometimes it's a little difficult to see what that is. So what you can do is you could take a Sharpie marker. Okay, go all the way around. You can use machinist die as well, but you know, everyone has a Sharpie marker, right? Okay, so get that on there. And then also you can take a marker and coat the whole valve seat. Let that dry. Okay, and what you can do is just go so what you can do is just go up and down. Sometimes you might have to twist it. Okay, and you should get some evidence of it mating. The Sharpie marker doesn't work the best. There we go. Now we got a little patch that is wearing, and these are really pitted, so it's hard to tell. So anyway, on the exhaust, they recommend 60 to 80 thousandths. Okay, so what you can do is you can come over here and you can measure the contact width, okay, to see if you're over. Okay, and I'm roughly at 80 thousandths, so I'm at the max limit. Okay, and then if I come over here and try to measure this patch, okay, so that one's right at 60 thou, but it's this, it looks like it's wearing a little too much on the valve or something. But anyway, these are really pitted, so they need to be cleaned up. Okay, now on the intake side, for this head, they recommend 40 to 60 thou. So if I come in here and measure it, you know, I'm right at like 40 thou, so that's in spec. Over here, yeah, I can see the angles here. So we're right at like 40 thou, so that looks good. So really the exhaust valves are what's killing me here. Okay, now I did some lapping. Let's go ahead and look at a lapped valve, and you can see the contact patch from that, okay, on a different head here. Okay, I did a little bit of lapping on these valves, and you can see the dull gray on here. So that's the contact patch for sure. And this guy here, if I measure it, you know, I'm approaching like 90 thousandths of an inch. So as I lapped, the seat width grew wider to remove all the pits, right? So the patch is too wide on this setup. So if I measure this guy here, yeah, I'm well over the spec. Yeah, approaching 95 thou. Okay, and then if I go over here, that's right at 70 thousandths of an inch. About 70 thousandths. So even though it looks really good, I am out of spec on this. All right, guys, so I called my local machine shop. I talked to him over the phone. I said, hey, I got 5.3 heads. How much is a valve job? He's like, well, it's about $395 plus parts. And I said, all right, well, I disassembled everything and I vapor blasted the heads, so that should save me a little bit of cost, right? And he said, yeah, that'll probably bring it down to $3.25. Okay. And then he says typically the exhaust guides are the worst on these heads. So we'll see if I need parts. If I need parts, I can easily see this jumping up to a $500 job or so, but we'll see what happens. We'll drop it off and then we'll see what happens. We'll wait for a call.